Ever since CD Projekt Red dropped that trailer at E3 for Cyberpunk 2077, I've been dying to get some more info on this game. And what do they do to us today? They drop a 48-minute gameplay trailer on us. Boy, if the hype train wasn't going fast enough from a 2-minute trailer, imagine how hot the embers are burning now that they dropped a 48-minute straight-up gameplay trailer into my lap. Now, I don't want to do a whole frame-by-frame analysis like they do in trailers, because one, that would take around 4 hours to get through this whole thing, and two, I think making speculations based off of trailers and gameplay with no real proof to back it up is just kinda unproductive. So instead, I'm just going to take a minute here to talk about what I want from the game and why I think it's going to be the game of the year in whatever year it comes out, and how I can be so sure of that from seeing just under an hour of gameplay footage from an alpha build of the game. Before we can even get into Cyberpunk, I really just want to bring up The Witcher. Now, The Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time. The Witcher 2's combat sort of kept me away from it, but it's undeniable the way that CD Projekt Red presents the worlds in which their games take place. The way the characters are fully realized for every single quest, just how every little detail has been thought out on such a deep level. If there's a scar on somebody's cheek, there's probably a way to figure out how he got it. It all shows this incredible amount of work, care, and skill that's put into their games. So off the bat, you know that the same level of perfectionism is coming to Cyberpunk 2077. I mean, they could possibly pull off a full GTA 5 on us and just give us a pile of garbage, but seeing the amount of character and details in the environment of Night City, I think it's going to be a pretty cool place to explore. As for the story, it looks pretty standard. We're some merc looking for work and we get pulled into a much larger operation, but honestly it's the side quests that I'm more interested in. And being a for-hire wet worker, much like The Witcher 3, gives you a lot of opportunities to pick fights and resolve them in some pretty creative ways. Honestly, I think the combat was the thing I was least concerned about going into this gameplay. I mean, it's an FPS and you know there are going to be like 200 different abilities to unlock and like 600 different guns with these different powers to them. What I was really looking for here were ways to resolve situations other than combat. And thankfully there were plenty here to find. Talking your way through situations or doing optional side objectives to gain an advantage. You can hack doors or sneak about and execute people or just go in full guns blazing. It's all there, and while it wasn't really the main focus of the trailer, I understand that it's easier to make a 48-minute gameplay trailer revolving on combat and open world stuff than it is to talk about the intricacies of stealth gameplay and hacking mechanics. One thing I'm holding out for is a lot more non-lethal options as the game opens up. We got to see lots of guns and these really cool armed scythe-like things, but for open world RPGs like this, I always prefer doing the non-lethal stealth options. Break into a place and grab everything of value, leaving everybody none the wiser and without spilling a single drop of blood is a lot more satisfying than running through the front door guns blazing. I mean, you still have that option to go loud, but it's just that, an option. I want to have multiple ways of dealing with these situations, and I feel like non-lethal would be a really fun one to take care of people with. Kinda like in Deus Ex. Honestly, the more times I watch through this footage, the more I get this Deus Ex vibe off of it. The body mods you get as you level up, the dialogue trees with different options, the multiple approaches to missions, it's all there in a similar dystopian setting. But where Deus Ex had a pretty limited open world, only a few blocks and 2 cities, Cyberpunk promises to have a map bigger than The Witcher 3, which is pretty damn big. The thing about Deus Ex's relatively small worlds was allowing them to be jam-packed with explorable rooms which had hidden stories in every single one of them. If there was a door, you could open it, and in most of those rooms you'd find a computer with an email on it leading you on a smaller quest, the end of which wouldn't be this huge reward or something. The realization of the mystery is the reward itself. It made the exploration completely optional but super satisfying when you could solve a crime that didn't even exist in your quest log. Really, my only worry here is that the open world in Cyberpunk might feel a little empty. Not in the way of the amount of NPCs, because holy shit, did you see the size of that crowd? I just mean there might not be a whole lot to do outside of side missions and main quests. Although The Witcher 3 kept me engaged for over 300 hours and that didn't have much to do in the open world, so what does it really matter? I'm just hoping I can break into a guy's house and read his email about his shitty day at work and have it just be that. Content that adds to the world instead of being directly related to one of your quests. I kinda like that shit. What else? Horrors. Wait, no. The whole idea of body modification has a lot of ethical connotations behind it, and it looks like that's all going to be tackled here as well. You have some characters who don't even have mods, preferring to stay fully organic, while others are trying to remove as much humanity from them as possible. and that's a really cool line to ride while playing. We can see our physical appearance changing as we get more mods, and I think it'd be cool to have that happen more as a trade-off to getting more powerful. There are these cool future guns, but also a lot of retrofitted classic weapons, which makes me think there are other aspects of life following that same model in the world somewhere. Maybe like a cool classic car with a fuel converter built into the hood or something. Speaking of, the driving looks pretty cool, and there are flying cars, so if you can't pilot those, I'm probably just going to return the game. There's this mold for a katana up in your wall in your house, so if you can't fill that with 2 katanas and use them at the same time, I'm probably just going to return the game. Wait, no. The music! That song from the trailer's been on my playlist since I first heard it, and now they're telling us they recorded songs just to get you more immersed in the world. God damn, if that's not how you do sound design in this game, then I'm probably just going to return it. And if I can get just a few more bangers like that, I'll buy the deluxe edition just to have the USB of the soundtrack. Pretty much every aspect of what I saw was exactly what I was hoping for, even though they said it was just an alpha and subject to change, but honestly I have full confidence in those Slavic masterminds to deliver me another game of the year. Fuck, I can't wait.